These tutorials are made possible in part by an Epic Mega Grant from Epic Games. All right, hi everyone, Josh Hughes here, as always, lead game designer at Add-A-Tudez, Team Kaizen, and Ingenium. We're starting our series here where we're going to start teaching you how to make games inside of Fortnite Creative. And these tutorials are going to kind of be split up amongst two different modes. The first is what some people call Creative 1.0. That's the creative mode that's actually built into Fortnite here. And the other will be around Unreal Editor for Fortnite, which is required to be used on a PC. But for normal creative mode, like I said, Creative 1.0, you can do this on any platform that Fortnite is on, whether it's mobile, console, PC, whatever. And so what you do is you go to the Discover tab, like right here, you can see that I can hit Discover by hitting X on my Xbox controller. And then you go over to Create and hit, in this case, Y or whatever button is appropriate for your system. And now Creative Mode is listed. So we're going to go ahead and hit Y to enter Creative Mode. And it takes a little bit of time to get in there because it's actually connecting online to do it. And that's kind of the nice thing. If you play Fortnite on multiple systems, your progress in creating stuff will actually carry over from system to system because it's saved on Epic servers, which is really cool. But when you first pop into Creative, you're going to be here in a hub, and the hub may look different because they change it every once in a while. So just realize it's going to be a circular area, and that somewhere you're going to see a little kind of iPad looking thing with a portal. Like right there, I've got a lake hub that I've been working on, but I'm going to use a different thing. So you go up to the console and hit the button to interact with it. And then in the upper right hand, you can see Create New. In this case, you know, on Xbox and PC, you pull the right trigger to do that. They have starter islands and template islands you can look from. For your first time in doing Fortnite Creative 1.0, I highly recommend picking this island right here, Learn the Creative Toolset. It's an adventure that this person named Wirt created, where you actually learn all the different tools and how to navigate in creating Fortnite Creative. But for our demonstration today, I'm going to go ahead and just pick like a random island. Like, let's just pick an archipelago, because archipelagos sound fun. And so in a second, it will load that into the portable. As you see, it says loading right there. Once it's done loading right there, XL Archipelago Island, we're going to go ahead and walk into the portal. And it's going to take us to our island. And of course, like stereotypical Fortnite, you have to skydive to it. So we're going to go ahead and work our way down. Now, obviously, that was kind of inconvenient that we had to skydive down to it, so we're going to fix that here in a second. So, first of all, when you're moving around, it's just like normal Fortnite, but if you try to do a double jump, you'll float. And so, especially if you've played games like Little Big Planet or Dreams, this should be kind of normal to you to move around. Just double jump again to exit that. And then you hit Y or triangle, you know, if you're playing on PlayStation, to pull out your phone, which is your creative tool. And I'm going to go to my inventory. And while you're in your inventory, you can map different things to the quick bar down below for quick creating. First of all, I'm going to grab some house. You know, we'll find one that's convenient, like Cracked Shots Cabin. Let's do that. So I'll hit A on that, and then hit up to map it to the first slot. And then if you see across the top, we're currently in the prefabs menu, and I want to go to devices. Devices are the things that let you you know, do different kinds of programming basically inside your world. So the first device we're going to grab is a player spawner. And I'm going to do that on the right key on the D-pad. And we're going to use that because that'll make it a lot easier on us to, you know, where from now on when we go into the world, once we place a player spawner, we don't have to skydive in anymore. Then I need to find couple different things. One of them is a lock device, because we're going to use that to lock the door on that cabin. We're going to put that on down, and then I need to find the water tool, the fishing tool. There's the fishing zone. So we're going to add a fishing zone on there. That creates an area where you can go fishing. And then we want to add a fishing rod barrel on Y, because that's how you get people the ability to fish. Let me go back up here really quick because I want to be sure I didn't miss the water tool. There, I did miss it. And so that should be all the tools we need. So we're going to go ahead and back out. And when we have our phone out, we can hold down the trigger, the left trigger. And let me click back in here. Okay, cool. And when I hold the left trigger, you'll see that those buttons appear over the different objects. So that is how we'll place them. But first, I want to go back into my inventory and use my bumpers up here to go to my island. And this has all the different settings for your island. And anytime you start doing a Fortnite creative level, you first want to go over to tools and go down to convert to event system. And hit yes. Event system's the newer way of programming basically in the game. You're not going to actually get hands-on programming in Creative 1.0, but event system is basically their system of what we call if and then statements. And so it's important to make sure you're on that because the instructions I'm giving are going to be under the assumption that you've converted your island to the event system. So first thing first, I'm going to hold down my left trigger, hit up, and now we've got our grid for our house. I'm trying to make sure that I'm hoping I don't place it too low, but let's try it. Pull the right trigger to place it. Okay, I will have to work with it later to get it lower, but you can see that at least I can get in the house because that's kind of the important part for this tutorial. Sometimes when placing stuff, it will place too high, and I'm still honestly learning the tools too, because this is kind of us learning together. But for what I'm wanting to do right now, this will work. So what we're going to do is now go back to our phone mode, hold down I'm going to look away so I don't accidentally, because if you pull the left trigger on something while you're aiming at it, you will delete it, you'll cut it. So I don't want it to be aiming at anything, but I'll hold the left trigger again. See the buttons appear above my objects. I'm going to hit down and get a lock device. I'm going to bring it closer to me really quick. This lock device needs to be on the building in order to, be assigned to that door. And oh, I can make it bigger. So that's bringing it closer. So okay, so there. Now how do I rotate it? Okay, so left bumper. So I'm just rotating it so we could see it. Like that. Now you want to get kind of close to your building. Make sure that it's touching the door frame. Like that, and pull the trigger. And you did it right if you see it and it has that blue light. So now we don't have to worry about that for a while. And I just realized too that due to the island I picked, we already have water, so I'll skip using water here. But we'll go ahead and hold down the left trigger, hit Y, and place a barrel of fishing rods. And in the water itself, we'll go ahead and place a fishing zone. So I'm going to hold down the trigger, hit left. Now we've got a fishing zone. Go ahead and put it right there. And you'll know you did it right if you see the fish swimming around, which good they are. So now that I'm flying around, I'm going to put my phone away. And when I get really close to the fishing zone, you'll see that prompt pops up for customized fishing zone. I'm going to hit that. And then I'm going to go over to this page. So first, this page is if it's receiving an event from something. The next page over is sending an event to something. So this is what we call an if and then statement. And we're going to add it right here. We're going to add one. And so we need to select the device that's going to be the receiving end of this. We're going to go ahead and pick the lock device. Select function. we're going to say unlock. So that way, our if and then statement is, since it's on caught, is if you catch a fish, then the door to the house will unlock and you'll be allowed inside the house. And when you think about it, literally everything you do in video games, and even in computers in general, comes down to if and then statements. It's a key part of computer programming. So now we'll go ahead and hit start and start our game. And I forgot to place the player thing. So, hey, again, learning as we go. Seeing that I forgot to place it. But at least we get to see our beautiful environment pop in. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there because that's a part of learning. That's realizing what you did wrong, and that's what's so great about games like Fortnite or Dreams or Little Big Planet, that you can see your mistakes quickly and fix them. So obviously in my next round I'll fix it. But now when we come up here, see that red's light? So obviously the door's locked. It's not letting me in. It's saying it's locked. So we've got to follow through on the if and then statement. So I'm going to search there, grab my fishing rod, back. I don't know what it was saying there, but I grabbed my fishing rod and I equipped it just like you would equip a weapon in the game. I see where the fish are, and I'm going to cast my rod. And once I feel a bite, I'm going to bring it in. And I got shotgun shells there, although it didn't seem to work. I'm wondering if you have to get a fish. Trash. So let's keep going until we get a fish. Small fry. Let me see up here. I probably should have tweaked this just to say fish only. Again, beta testing. So you know what? Let's go ahead and end the game. And I'm going to return to island. And we're going to fix some of our problems. Well, hopefully fix all of them, but you catch what I mean. And like I said, normally I would, edit it and make it all perfect and worry about how perfect it is. But in this context, it actually works better to show that I made a mistake. So let's first fix my first mistake, the player sensor. So I'm going to hold down my trigger. I'm going to hit right on the D-pad because that's what I have a player spawner assigned to. I'm going to put that there. Now we don't have to skydive anymore. Now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to check this. Let's say open. Let's try that. And then also for my settings, pool type, fish only. And I think I only have one there. And let's just be quadruple sure that I got it right by going over here and checking out our lock device. So yeah, open when receiving from fishing zone. Okay, so we're good. Start game. And like I said, I decided to keep the goofs because that's game development. You always make mistakes. You always have to learn, and that's part of the joy of it. Because whenever we do camps, kids, we always get some kids that think, oh, if I don't get it right the first time, I must not be good enough to, do game design. It's like, no, even when you know this job really well, you're always learning, you're always making mistakes, and it's more about learning how to address what you did wrong and figure it out from there than doing it right the first try. So it's more important to show the goof. All right, so let's get a fish. Come on, guys. There's a fish caught. And the door opened because we said open on caught. So now I can get in the house. So you can see there that, and it still says locked, meaning I can't freely open it and close it myself. So it's only going to open or close based off the fish pond. But either way, that gives you the idea. And like I said, that's one of the things that's so awesome about this mode is that you can quickly go in and out of create and play to beta test what you've made and create that list of, okay, here's what I want it to do. Here's how it's not doing it. So let's try these things to get it to do the behavior that I want. That's game development. And that is the essence of it. So we're very excited to start offering these tutorials, and I can't wait to start sharing more with you and sharing my journey of learning how to make in Fortnite as well, both in Creative 1.0 like we are right here, as well as Unreal Editor for Fortnite, which we'll be covering soon. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions below, and we will try to answer them. Have a great day, everyone.